repeat what he said, except I'm actually going to fill things out. Alright, so once he gives you his spill on, he's going to read your task condition standard, then he's going to tell you, at this time, do you understand what you must do? And you're going to say, yeah, and then he's going to tell you, alright, at this time you can move around, like if you need to place, like if a protractor's over here or something like that, and you want to place it on the map, that's fine, you can do that. You just can't bring it up to like the point, alright? At that time we'll start your time. Alright? But if you want to like just get like your shit ready, like maybe flip this card around, that's fine, alright? So then once you're ready, you look at him and then he's gonna be like, alright, all zeros on the clock, blah blah. And then he's gonna tell you your time starts as soon as you pick up the pencil or touch anything else on the table. So usually what we tell people is the best way about doing this is just going in order, right? And the first thing you want to do is kind of like turn around and put your name over here in your last four, because that's something that you can probably forget, right? And a lot of people probably will if you don't do that first. But if you knock that thing first, if you knock that out first, all you have to do is put your last name, your first name, and your last four. Flip this card around and you'll never have to flip it over again, right? So it doesn't matter, you won't forget, because that was the first thing you did. Alright, so the next thing you have 3 minutes to do this, which is a lot of time. The next thing you're gonna start doing is filling out your line 9 medevac. Alright, so pretty much all this, I think the only things you actually have to look for is 4 out of the 9 lines. All right, there's a lot of them that are already given to you. All right, so I'm gonna start out with location of pickup site. Right, so just gonna come over here, and like let's say I got range 45. I'm gonna get my grid for range 45, right? And then what you're gonna write it is you're just gonna put Delta Fox. You have to put Delta Fox and then your 6-digit grid. For now, I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so Delta Fox and then your 6-digit grid. Alright, it's gonna be a 6-digit grid. Does anybody not know how to get a 6-digit grid? No, we're all good. You sure? Good?
You know how to do it?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, look, so I'll continue and we'll work with you afterwards. That way we can get you that, and then I can continue. We can get everybody through this, all right? But that's fine, all right? If you need, speak up, and then if you need to ask a question, ask a question. So we'll work with you on the 6-digit grid, all right? It's really simple, all right? It's okay if people forget. Sometimes I fucking forget, all right? So for location, Delta Fox, 6-digit grid, right? Pretty simple, all right? And then you're gonna go to line 2, radio frequency call sign. All right, so your radio frequencies are here and your call signs are here. They're pretty self-explanatory, okay? So we got grader, candidate, dust off. Obviously you're the candidate, we're the grader, and dust off you're gonna change to call your lines 6 through 9, all right? Lines 1 through 5, you're gonna call them to the grader. Does everybody know what that is?
Is you're requesting it to them?
Huh?
Is you're requesting it to them?
Exactly, because you're requesting it to them, and then lines 6 through 9.
You're requesting it from the aircraft, or to the aircraft.
Well, the aircraft is asking you
the
last lines, right? So that's good. All right. So on line 2, it's really simple. You're just gonna write 34,000 34000, and then you're just gonna write candidate. All right. Really simple. All right. Then for line 3, number of patients by the precedence. Right, this is where you're gonna have to look at this card. You're gonna have to look at this card twice, and this is one of them, because you're gonna have to look and see if he's urgent, priority, or routine. All right, he's gonna be on this card right here. It's gonna be urgent. It's not always gonna be urgent. So this is one of those where it's not given to you. You're gonna have to like actually pay attention, look at your card, and get it from the card. Okay, so. For line 3, then you go up here. This is going to be on test day. The only things you're not going to have are these 2. Alright, but they don't really matter because, I mean, you should all know how to do that. Alright, but you are going to have this one. So you don't even have to memorize your Burberry codes. Alright, so for line 3, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get over here and you're gonna look. All right, so he's urgent, so it's gonna be alpha, right? So you're gonna have to put 1 alpha, all right? Or you can put alpha 1. It doesn't really matter. I just do 1 alpha because it makes more sense to me. But if you put 1 alpha or alpha 1, it's good, okay? So for special equipment required, all right? So we're just gonna be marking the arm and the leg, all right? And he already told you why we marked the arm, because to simulate whether we marked the arm or the leg to simulate whether he's ambulatory or litter, right? If he's on the leg, he's what?
Litter.
Litter. If he's on the arm,
Ambulatory.
all right? So for special equipment required, exactly, none. So that's gonna be none. Like, we're giving it to you, and it's gonna be like that on the test. So if you go over here and you look, special equipment required, alpha is none. So that's always gonna be alpha, right? Always gonna be alpha. Now for line 5, number of operations by type. Again, this is the second time you have to look at your card, and after that, you never have to look at this card again. All right, it's on the arm, so he's what? Ambulatory. All right. So if you look over here, the Beverly code for ambulatory, it's alpha. So it's going to be 1 alpha. All right. Now, you get to line 6. It's got 2 of them, right? What are we at?
Wartime.
Wartime. So if you want to, before you even start this, you can go ahead and cross out the one that says peacetime, so it doesn't mess with you. And then also do it for 9. All right. You cross out the one that says peacetime because you're at wartime. So, security of pickup site. It's already secure, right? So all you gotta do is come over here and look at your Beverly codes. All right. November says no enemy in the area, so it's gonna be November, and it will always be November. It will not change. Okay. It's always gonna be secure. It's always gonna be secure. It's gonna be secure no matter what on the test date. All right. So it will always be November. Line 7 says method of marking pickup site, right? We told you, and there is a VA-17 panel here. Unless you have a smoke or pyro on you, then by all means put that. And like at that point, well, I guess
You're somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
But we'll give you a go on that.
We'll give you a go. I mean, but we're literally supplying you with a VA-17 panel. So look at the Beverly codes. Alpha says panels, so it will always be alpha. Always be alpha. All right. Then on line 8 it says patients by nationality and status. So on the he said it's what? It's a teammate, right? So he's what?
U.S.
The U.S. military. Again, Beverly codes. Alpha is U.S. military, so it's always going to be 1 alpha. Make sure you put 1 alpha because it is 1 person, right? You could have more than 1. All right. Will you have more than 1 for us? No. It's always going to be the same task condition standard. So it's 1 alpha. All right. And then for NVC, right? What it would say?
None.
So all you're going to do is write none. Just remember, write none. Don't write anything else but none. All right. I'm telling you the answer right now.
If you put an N instead of none, it's going to get you a no-go,
Right, yeah.
because if you look at the N, it stands for nuclear.
That's why I'm telling you, write none. All right? If you write anything other than none, you're going to get a no-go. And you're going to be...
It's petty, but
Yeah, because I'm literally giving you the answer right now. Alright? So, after this, you're going to look up at your grader and you're going to say, I'm done. Now, for this, we're going to read you time hacks, okay? Or you can ask for time hacks. You can always ask us questions throughout this whole process, this whole 3 minutes. You can ask us, can you tell me my pickup site again? And we'll go ahead and point it out again. Alright? We'll point out the circle and make sure you get the grid from the little dot. Alright? Where it actually says range 45. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, we even put a circle on it so we can narrow it down for you.
you circle the dot.
Yeah, we circled the dot, so you don't even have to look for it. Okay, throughout the whole time, you can ask us for questions. You can ask us for time hacks. Okay, it's fine. So you can, and I know if I'm grading you, I'm gonna give you time hacks. Like I'll give you like your 2-minute time hack. Like you got 2 minutes left, 1:30, and so on, right? I'll count down from 10 seconds, but hopefully it never gets to that because it shouldn't take you that long. All right. So at that point when you're done, you say you're done. That's it. Like we're not gonna say like you have time remaining or anything like that. You're done. All right. At that point, everything stops. He stops the watch. He'll show you your time, and he's gonna check this sheet. All right. We actually have score sheets. He's gonna check it, and he's gonna tell you whether you're a go or no go. If you're a no go, then he's gonna explain to you why you're a no go. All right. He's gonna give you the option to protest. And if you're a go, then he's just gonna say, okay, at this time.
You now have 25 seconds to call out lines 1 through 5 through the proper channels to the grader. So you are calling up, making sure that you're on the right frequency.
Okay, so this is another friction point where you actually have to pay attention to what you're doing. All right, because he's telling you that at this time you have 25 seconds to call your lines 1 through 5 in the right frequency. So, as we said before, you're calling it to the grader, right? Because it's the first 5 lines. All right, this portion is not timed, but you do have to make sure you switch that frequency over to the right frequency, okay? Again, you can't mess with the radio at the beginning, so you actually have to check, because right now it's on 35,000 and you're supposed to be at 41.5, right? So, does anybody not know how to change frequencies on a radio?
Do you know how to change it?
No, alright, come here. Alright, so all you do is you hit menu, right? It's gonna bring you up to volume, alright? And then you're gonna hit it again, it's gonna bring you up to channel, and it tells you it's on channel 3, okay? All you gotta do is change it to channel 1, alright? And then if you hit freak, it's gonna tell you 4 or 5. It'll let you check it, okay? The frequencies are actually programmed on here just like they are in that order. So 1 is 4 5, alright? 2 is 34, and 3 is 35. Alright, you're obviously never gonna use 2, right? So, I mean, at least hope you guys. Alright, never gonna use 2. So you're gonna either put 1 or 3. Alright, so you're calling it to the grader. So go ahead, run me through it real quick. What are you gonna do? Yep. No, wait, what does it say? Alright, now what are you gonna do then? No. Press it again. Press it again. Now it's this channel, right? And you're gonna hit 1, right? Now how do you check it? You freak. Bam. Alright? So you're on the right freak. Alright. So now, what's up, man? You guys want to teach this shit?
No, I was waiting while you were teaching.
Okay. Alright. So, at this point, I'm gonna look at, without calling anything up, I'm gonna look at him and be like, just make eye contact with him or acknowledge him in some way. Just say, I'm ready, or whatever. And he's gonna check the frequency to make sure it's in the right frequency, right?
So there's no time hack for that?
There's no time hack for this, right? So you don't have to take a million years to do it, but you also have time, okay? So at that point, you look up and like, I'm ready. All right,
Alright.
you're gonna check. So then
You have 25 seconds to call up lines 1 through 5.
show you your zeros. So that's a different time hack. It's not part of the 3 minutes. It's a totally different time hack. All right. This is actually the hardest part of this whole process. But if you actually you wrote it down here, and if you wrote it neatly, it should be pretty easy because all you're doing is reading off of this paper. Okay, and it says it's 25 seconds, but actually 25 seconds is a long time. Okay, most people average about 15 seconds. All right. So now I'm gonna come over here, and you have to actually initiate the medevac request. Okay. So for this, you're gonna say, grader, this is candidate. I have a medevac request. That's all you have to say, okay? And you have to say, I have a medevac request. Like, if you do not say, if you say anything other than medevac request, that I have a medevac request, you're gonna be a no-go. You have to say, I have a medevac request.
So if you forget
okay?
to say, greater, this is candidate, and you just say, I have a medevac request, you're still good.
Alright,
But I have a medical request. Good practice is going to say, who to who, I have a medevac request.
alright. I have a medevac request. Alright. So once I say that, he's gonna give you a response like, it's like, okay, candidate, this is greater, send it. When he says send it, or any type of, he acknowledges you to tell you to go ahead and send your 5 lines, he's gonna start the timer. All right. So if it was me, like, I would actually do it. Like, greater, this candidate, I have a medevac request.
candidate, this is greater. Go ahead and send it.
And he's actually gonna time me. You started already. No matter. All right. Line 1, Delta Fox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Line 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, 0. Candidate. Line 3, 1 Alpha. Line 4, Alpha. Line 5, 1 Alpha. Over. All right.
17 seconds.
All right. And he started a little bit, like a second or two after I went. All right. So, you have to say over. If you do not say over, you're just gonna stare at each other, and then the time runs out, and then he's gonna take your no-go. Okay. Say over. You have to say over. You have to say over twice. All right. That was one of them. You have to say over. All right.
After line 5, over.
Yeah. Don't forget it. You have to say over. Another good tip that Spiller tells everybody is to write it down over here on the side. Okay, line on the side of line 5. All right. We were not gonna get it for it. Okay. Don't write anything else but that. All right. So we're making it even easier. So, all right. At that point, when we say over,
You're
if
gonna
you're
get another
good,
block of instructions.
all right, he's gonna give you another block of instructions. So,
So at this time, candidate, you will now ensure that you're in the proper frequency, waiting for dust off to reach comms with you.
all right. So at this point, Dostov's gonna reach out to you, right? Because that's what the helicopter does, or whatever vehicle's coming towards you, right? Or to come pick up your passengers. So at this point, he told you to make sure you're at the right frequency. So you have to switch over to Dostov. All right. Again, same process. You hit menu twice. All right. It's gonna bring you to channel, and you'll have the number. And then you hit 3, because that is Dostov's frequency, right? And if you want to check it, you hit freak, and it'll tell you it's 35,000. All right. Anybody confused, questions, anything like that? Wants me to go over something else again? No? All good? All right. So, at that point, I'm gonna again look up the grader and say I'm good or I'm ready, right? You're gonna check your freak, he's gonna make sure that you're right, and now all you do is wait for him to reach out to you, all right? For Dostov to reach out to you. Now he's gonna just start the time as soon as he starts talking, okay? But you have 1 minute to read lines 6 through 9. Most people do it like in 6 seconds, all right? So it's a lot of time.
So at this point, it'll be greater. This is candidate. This is dust offs and line 6 through 9.
And then you just say line 6, November, line 7, Alpha, line 8, 1 Alpha, line 9, none, over. All right, that's the second time you say over. You have to say over. All right, do not forget to say over. If you forget, then again, it's gonna be a long ass minute. All right. Once you say over, at that point you're done. All right. And if you said it right, you just read it off here, then there shouldn't be an issue. You're gonna be a go. All right. It's really simple. If you think about it, we're giving you line 9, line 8, line 7, line 6. So literally,
It's your final
What else?
4.
line 4 is given to you. So you got line 5, line 3, line 2, and line 1. Those are the only lines you gotta really worry about. And all the other lines that I just said, so line 9 will never change, line 8 will never change, line 7 will never change, line 6 will never change, and line 4 will never change.
So, and if you made it to this point where you're reading off line 6 and 9, as long as you say over, you should be a go. Like there's nothing that's gonna, because you're getting graded, evaluated between every phase. So.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?